Well, guys, the Union have been knocked out of the MLS Cup playoffs in the first round. Before I get into the game at all or my feelings on it, I want to give credit to the New England Revolution, who certainly played much better than we did. They brought it. They put down a game plan. Bruce Arena had his club with a game plan, and they executed it. They have difference makers on their team, and they really took us out of our game and played an excellent road performance. It was a very savvy playoff victory for them, and credit to them. But with that said, it was an inexcusable performance from the Philadelphia Union guys. It was so frustrating, so bad. Like, I can't even. I'm trying to think of one player that played well. Probably Ilsinho, when he came in, was the only one that showed any interest in trying to create something offensively. I mean, our back line was terrible. Wagner probably had his worst game in a Union uniform. Martinez had his worst game in a Union uniform. He was taken off at halftime. He was so bad. Nobody in the back line was any good today. Bedoya, Montero, flat. Bedoya looks old and slow in that game compared to other performances. Aronson was ineffective, and he was taken out of the game early as well. He didn't even get to try and create much with Ilsinho on the pitch, and then nobody else. Chobilko has been very ineffective lately. He didn't do anything. Just nobody, but probably Ilsinho really, tried to do something. Aronson was hustling, but it just wasn't enough. So super disappointing that we didn't show urgency. It just seemed like the team didn't care at one point. After the first goal went in from Buxa, it looks like the team just kind of dropped and just didn't really care. They won the Supporters Shield, best team in the regular season, undefeated at home, and we go and lay an egg in the first round of the playoffs to just completely continue to solidify ourselves as a playoff choker when we get there. We're not going to win an MLS Cup unless the club goes out and buys some difference makers. They spend the money. This club does not like to spend money. Yes, we're building with youth. And yes, we've made some really good youth players from our homegrown system. But when the playoffs come around, you see what a difference a player like Carlos Heel can make. Adam Buxa, Gustavo Bo, those are the DP players that New England Revolution had, and they made the difference today. And the Union don't go out and spend enough money on players that can make a difference in the offensive, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I can't be too, I don't want to say such harsh things. We had a really, really good season. Obviously, we're the Supporters Shield winners. It's such a contrast from 2 weeks ago when we won the Supporters Shield to getting to the playoffs and then just completely laying an egg in the first round, like not even putting in a performance. We were outcoached. Curtin looks like he had no ideas really of what to do. Their whole second half plan was basically just get the ball to Ilsinho and hope that he can create something, and it was so unfair to him to have to try and continuously split two defenders every time to try and whip a cross or get a pass into somebody waiting in the box. It was, so predictable. There was no movement. Montero was just awful. He was not getting involved in the game. Bedoya not involved in the game, like I've said. Santos did not. Santos, our forwards were completely just barely even touched the ball. And when they did, they really weren't in areas that were too dangerous. And, we had a chance to get back in the game. Chobilko had a header that, put right at Matt Turner. He should have buried it and just crossed in there. He had a good chance and just didn't put it into an area that was going to beat the keeper. He just put it right at him. So missed opportunity there from Chobilko, who definitely does not look like himself over the past month or so, I'd say. He just looks kind of lost out there now. I don't know if he's the forward for this team going forward. I don't know. But they need to figure out a way going in the next season to integrate him to where they, what's going to work best. Because right now it's just not working for him. But, guys, nothing much else to say. Supporters Shield winning, great. Playoffs, not so great, but credit to the Revolution. I hope they go on and win the Cup. They're a franchise that deserves the Cup. We'll see what they do. I am just very distraught now after that. You higher expectations with home field throughout the playoffs. This was the year for the Union to win the Cup, and they didn't do it. we're losing Aronson, could be losing McKenzie, could be losing Wagner. Bedoya, Gaddis, Ilsinho are all, pretty much past their prime now and old. We're not going to get too much more out of them going forward. And it's like this franchise is going to try and bank on hoping that they get a few more home runs from the homegrowns. So they're going to sign more and more homegrowns, hope that they can bank on them. But they need to go out and spend money on like a superstar player or something. They need at least one of those difference makers in there. You see prime example today of why you need a player like that on your team. But I optimistic about next season, but you can't get too excited until you can actually do damage in the playoffs. Last year we went out in the second round. We only have one playoff win in our franchise history. You can't, maybe we set our expectations a little bit too high after winning Supporters Shield. I thought we'd at least get to the conference finals, maybe. But not even making it out of the first round is a big, big flop from this franchise. But let me know what you guys think if you're a Union fan. It's quite devastating. If you're a Rebs fan, it's got to be exciting. You guys have a good shot at getting to the Cup, I think. Toronto out as well. No NYC. You never know. You never know. So thanks for listening, everybody. Take care. Stay safe. Happy holidays to everyone. And until next season, I'll see you guys in the Philadelphia Union podcast. Let's see what they do in the offseason now. Players are certainly going to be leaving, but who are they going to bring in?